Hello and welcome to this. How we define what this is? Cross podcast announcement episode. This is going to be going up on all three feeds. Beware of spoilers, 30-minute reviews, and exploring hyperspace lanes. Just to kind of give everyone a sense of what we're planning to do next year. Um, we got some cool stuff coming. So this will also be up on the YouTube channel. The YouTube channel version will have some visuals. So we will put up a post on the website about when that video is up, and that website will show you. We'll have a big post about all the cool logos and stuff. Um, so let's start out with beware of spoilers. Beware of spoilers is not changing. That's the easiest one to talk about. Beware of spoilers will continue to be. Actually, there's one change. It'll continue to be the show that it always is. We talk about new release movies, new release TV shows, episode breakdowns every week. That's just gonna be what it is right now. We won't be doing video games now anymore. And the reason for this is I found that video game episodes here, despite a larger subscriber base than 30-minute reviews, don't pull the numbers that 30-minute reviews does. And I think it's because Beware of Spoilers is a podcast that people subscribe to for um, movies and TV. And it's categorized as such. We'll get to video games in a minute because we do have something cool there, but we're not going to do new release video game news on Beware of Spoilers. Um, it wasn't quite panning out in terms of getting the counts we wanted. But we will still have new episodes on Thursdays and Fridays for movies, new episodes as episodes come out for TV shows. So we got What If, we have Echo coming out next year, House of Harkness I think comes out next year still, Deadpool 3, major franchises, smaller indie releases, movies that we talk about for Best Picture, they're in Oscar contention, all that kind of stuff. We'll be covering all of it. Same as we always have. Just video games won't be there anymore. Um, and those episodes will be coming out as needed. So if we cover something, if something's out, we'll put it there. There's gonna be no set date for it. It's just multiple times a week, as it is. Um, 30-minute reviews. The first podcast that we launched. We're entering our ninth year in August. Actually, August will be the ninth anniversary. So we'll be going into year 10. Um, that will be moving to Monday mornings at 9 a.m. Eastern Time with a new format to kind of reinvigorate the show and give it a sense of direction. Because I think that just coming in to do news episodes as they happen is not the best way to handle it. So each episode will have three segments. We're going to have five quick hits, we're going to have the box office autopsy, and film of the week. Five quick hits will be up to five news stories if five things happen in the week, where we talk about things that happened in the entertainment space, casting news, trailer drops, things like that. The box office autopsy will be a breakdown of the previous week's five movies at the top five at the box office, talking about big moves, overperformances, underperformances, things like that. And the film of the week will be a movie review for a movie for that week. This format will take effect starting with the episode on January 8th. That film of the week will be Silver Linings Playbook. The week after, on the 15th, will be Begin Again. On the 22nd, it will be Lady Bird. And on the 29th, it'll be Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. The movies that we use here are going to be sometimes tied into major releases, sometimes not. They will always be movies that are out on streaming. And again, this will be on 9 a.m. Eastern Time every week. Exploring Hyperspace Lanes will also not be changing. That will be remaining on Wednesdays, but that will be moving to 9 a.m. Eastern Time for release. Um, which brings us to our biggest news in this bit. We have one new podcast that we're going to be launching. So I figure that one of the things that may help get the video game, thing going is if we had a designated video game podcast. This isn't the first time we've done something like this. We did launch that podcast that I think lasted like two episodes, um, back in 20, what year was that? 20, what was it, 2018? 2019 we launched Cyber Drama. Didn't work out. Let's be real. Didn't work out. Was not the best idea we've had. Um, and we did try to expand 30-minute reviews last year with two other sub shows, the watch list and the backlog files, which the backlog files did very well for people coming to watch that. Issue is, it's a very time consuming thing. But if it's its own designated podcast, we get a little bit more space to work. Um, which leads us to the backlog files being spun out into its own podcast. There will be two different versions of the show. We're not going to split it into two separate shows. It's going to be um, a weekly episode where we discuss and rank video games in a video game franchise, and we'll just move through that franchise and then move on to the next one. After that, we will do additional episodes as needed for video game reviews, new release video games as they come out. And this will give a little bit more leeway and a little bit more visibility for these going forward. New episodes will drop on Tuesdays at 9 a.m. starting on January 2nd. And the first video game franchise we're going to be plowing on through is Pokemon. We're going to start with Pokemon Red and Blue on January 2nd, Pokemon Yellow on January 9th, Pokemon Snap on January 16th, Hey You Pikachu on January 23rd, and the Pokemon Trading Card Game on January 31st. So that's all the cool stuff we have coming with in the podcast space. In terms of book releases, if you're keeping track of my books, we did move Echo Delta Part 2 off of its release date, and we put in Succession Planning in its place. That came out last Friday. The next release date we're going to announce is Echo Delta Part 2 will be coming on February 16th. On June 11th, we will have One Last Jaw, which will wrap up the villain trilogy, and Echo Omega will wrap up the Echo Omega trilogy in 4 parts, I guess, on 11/29/2024. If you want to support the show, you can go to mwpnews.com. You can click on the Help Us Out link. There you can buy any of the books. You can read them on Kindle Unlimited. That also helps out. And we will be keeping track of that. More people do that, the more it helps out. If you want to just donate, so far right now, Beware of Spoilers is the only one that has a donate button. So if you go on bewareofspoilers.com, there's a donate link in the description of every episode. And if you want to tell your friends, the easiest way to do it is to just go to the website for any of the 3 podcasts that are currently out right now, bewareofspoilers.com, exploringhyperspacelanes.com, and 30minutereviews.com. Or go to mwpnews.com, and that has links to everything, as well as articles about some of the stuff that we do. We do have other stuff coming in the next few months. There are a few things that I am planning to do. There's just a few things I need to work out with that, but I think we'll have something to announce on Prelude in the very near future. I think we'll be shooting that by the end of this year. And we will have hopefully some more information on that as we get closer. But we will wrap up there for today. For those of you listening to Exploring Hyperspace Lanes, I apologize for the hiatus. Josie has been very busy, so we haven't been able to get together and do an episode. We will be back hopefully next week with a new episode. For 30-minute reviews, we'll be back next week. We'll do a news roundup, and we'll start doing a weekly discussion of a Christmas-themed rom-com for the month of December, and the week after. And for those of you listening to Beware of Spoilers, the next episode for that should be this week. We're doing Dream Scenario with Nicolas Cage. We will also be doing Godzilla -1 this weekend, and I feel like there was one other. And we'll continue with the Santa Clauses. We'll wrap up Invincible. We'll be doing Monarch, and I feel like there was one other show that I'm forgetting. Oh, we have Naiad and Rustin from Netflix on the itinerary, as well as Scott Pilgrim takes off. So, until then, have a great rest of your week.